You know those people who seem perfectly calm about their money? Prices go up, the economy shifts, unexpected expenses hit, and while everyone around them is stressed about bills, they seem totally unfazed. It is easy to assume they have some secret advantage, that they earn massive salaries, or have a trust fund, or just got incredibly lucky. But often, the people who navigate life without falling into debt are earning completely average incomes. So how do they do it? It starts with recognizing the water we are all swimming in. Modern culture has normalized borrowing to the point where it is almost invisible. Need a newer car? Borrow more. Want the latest phone? Finance it. Debt is offered as the default solution to almost any desire. People rarely find themselves trapped by one catastrophic financial disaster. Usually, that trap is built from hundreds of small, seemingly harmless choices made over months and years. Escaping that cycle doesn't mean finding a better budgeting spreadsheet. It requires looking at behavior. People who naturally avoid debt process those harmless little micro moments very differently than everyone else. When most of us feel stressed, bored, or insecure, we want immediate relief. And very often, the fastest way to get that relief is to buy something. A new gadget or an outfit becomes a shortcut to feeling better. In emotional spending, a heavy trigger leads to a purchase, creating a brief spike of relief. But excitement fades, leaving lingering debt. Debt avoiders take a different route. When feeling pressure, they bypass the purchase. They tolerate temporary discomfort, keeping their baseline completely stable. A credit card swipe is really a negotiation with your future self. You are trading comfort right now for an obligation later. It is a trade debt avoiders refuse to make. We live in a world that promises speed. Fast food, fast delivery, immediate results. But building financial stability is incredibly slow. Saving, investing, and paying down balances require a kind of patience that modern life actively discourages. To bridge that gap, psychologists have identified a cognitive framework known as future-oriented thinking. Instead of seeing their future self as a complete stranger, people with this trait feel a direct connection to who they will be in 10 years, are actively responsible for protecting from stress. And interestingly, psychology has found that self-control functions very much like a muscle. When you practice delaying gratification, the muscle gets stronger. Those minor daily decisions to wait eventually compound into a massive financial advantage. The simple ability to look at something you want and say, "not yet," instead of "I want it now," might be the single most effective defense mechanism against the burden of impatience. Then there is the pressure of comparison. Social media forces us into an infinite scroll where someone is always upgrading, someone is always succeeding, always buying more. Many people enter into debt simply because they do not want to feel left behind. The irony of the status game is that many of the signs of wealth are essentially visible PR campaigns financed by invisible debt. This balancing act illustrates the hidden cost. As you add weight to the side of visible status, your actual options slide away. High payments force people to stay in jobs they dislike, leaving them chronically stressed and physically trapped by their possessions. People who avoid debt eventually step out of this visibility race. They stop making major financial decisions based on what strangers or acquaintances might think of them. To them, money is not a tool for buying things to impress others. It is a tool for buying freedom, the freedom to choose, to adapt, and to walk away. They value that functional freedom far more than the temporary status they could buy with borrowed money. And that brings us to the deepest societal trap of all. Many of us unconsciously connect our personal identity and our self-worth directly to our lifestyle and our possessions. When your identity is tied to what you own, buying something is no longer a simple transaction. It becomes a highly emotional statement about your value as a person. The most effective psychological firewall debt avoiders have is that they completely decouple their identity from their consumption. They draw their self-worth from internal sources, meaning they don't need every purchase to communicate their success to the world. A moment of wonder. When your self-worth isn't sitting in a shopping cart, external pressures completely lose their grip. Advertising, social pressure, and the urge to compare yourself to neighbors simply stop influencing your choices. To an outside observer, this strict discipline might look boring, but they are actually executing a powerful active defense of their life.
They are happily trading minor present pleasures for the ultimate luxury of lifelong freedom. Before you go, I have a question for you. What is the biggest purchase you have ever been tempted to make, even though you knew it was a terrible trade for your future self? Let me know in the comments below.